Welcome everybody to the Sports Culture, all things sports. It's Jay Banfo, and we got to talk about the Indiana Fever. But before we get into that, like, comment, share, subscribe, and thanks for your support. So this video is for all Indiana Fever fans because it's a lot going on with that franchise right now, and unfortunately, it's nothing positive. Now, the Fever lost back-to-back games versus the Atlanta Dream, and in both games, they started off playing pretty well, but fizzled out and eventually got blown out. Now, in the beginning of the season, the Fever had high expectations. Last year, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals without their main star in Caitlin Clark. So anything less than that this year will be seen as a major disappointment. With the big three in Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston, on paper, that should be enough to compete with the best teams in the WNBA. But that's just not the case at all. So in this video, I'm going to break down the reasons why the Indiana Fever continue to struggle versus elite teams and explain what needs to happen in order to save this season. So let's first evaluate the roster because after the big three, there isn't another consistent player on the team. They re-signed Lexi Hall and brought in Mo Billings in free agency, but both players have been playing so bad that the coaching staff can't even play them in the fourth quarter. Remember, they have plenty of veterans on this team. This is also a team that features multiple top-tier draft picks and veteran scorers who should be thriving next to Caitlin Clark. Instead, they look completely lost and are underachieving. For example, Aaliyah Boston, who is a former Rookie of the Year and a force in the paint, should be more dominant this season. Now, I'm not saying she's having a bad season, but I have seen a lot of inconsistent play from her that needs to be discussed. Then you have Kelsey Mitchell, who is a top-tier scorer in this league. But the chemistry between her and Caitlin Clark is just not the best. Too many times this season, they have operated as two separate entities on the floor. It's been a your turn, my turn type of offense with those two, and that's not going to work long term for the Fever. The rest of the supporting cast is just not good. The rookies haven't had an impact whatsoever, the free agents are underwhelming, and overall, it's just a poorly constructed roster that has no chance to win the WNBA championship this season. Now, let me show some love to Sophie Cunningham because she's probably been the most consistent role player on the roster, and she doesn't even start for the Fever. Now, let's talk about the defense because every content creator who evaluates the Indiana Fever like to bring up how bad of a defender Caitlin Clark is, and I'm not going to argue that point. Caitlin Clark is a bad defender, and she needs to get better. There are just no excuses for that. But along with that, the Fever are just a bad defensive team overall. If you watch their games like I watched the games, on too many occasions, Lexi Hall, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston all struggle defensively. It's not just Caitlin Clark. Every game, the Fever give up at least 100 points, and it's impossible to win basketball games with poor defensive effort night in and night out. There's no point in being a great offensive team when you're so bad on the defensive end. Now, as a final point in this video, we have to discuss the relationship between Stephanie White and Caitlin Clark. Now, I understand during a game, things can get heated, but far too many times, Caitlin Clark and head coach Stephanie White have had bad communication with each other.
Phenomenal job all season long getting to the paint.
She's ripping into Caitlin Clark in front of everybody. And Caitlin Clark said, I didn't foul anybody. All I did was put my hands up. And she goes, all right, if you don't want to listen to it, Raven, you get in the game. And you could tell Caitlin Clark's pissed. Watch her shake her head like, this is bullcrap. Like, there's nothing I can do about the refs call.
Okay, really good job of finding a way. We started to expand that fist, and then we came back together. All right, that was really good stuff. Now, we know we got a lot of stuff we got to work on, right? We know that. But being able to come away and withstand what we withstood in that run and to be able to pull together, get some key stops, shot C. Yeah, hell yeah. Great pass, so. It wasn't pretty, okay? It wasn't pretty. We still got room for growth, a lot of room for growth, but great job getting a W on the road.
Yeah, that body language tells me everything. Caitlin Clark is fed up with Stephanie White, and by the end of this season, one of them has to go. There's no other option. As a head coach, Stephanie White isn't good. Just recently, we have watched games where Caitlin Clark was plagued by questionable foul calls that completely changed her aggressiveness on the court. And what did the coach do? Nothing. She never challenges a call when Caitlin is involved, and it's just so bizarre to me. But beyond that, the Fever are a bad defensive team, like I said earlier, and a lot of that goes to coaching. Adjustments have to be made, but Stephanie White seems incapable of making the necessary adjustments throughout a basketball game. So at the end of the day, the Indiana Fever front office has to choose a path. They are either all in on the Caitlin Clark experience, or if they choose to retain the head coach, they have to trade Caitlin Clark. Now, the Fever play today, and I don't even care if they win or lose. These are big picture issues that I'm addressing, and to save the season in any capacity, changes must come as soon as possible. Now, with that being said, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.